103.1 FM, WEOM.
Hi guys, Kaye Dee with Kaye Dee Radio back with
Chatty Cat.
What do you think about the stuff that's going on with Ebola?
I have been very distressed by the whole thing.
And then bringing folks to Atlanta.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yes. Now, I'm going to put my little dib in what the so-called conspiracy
theories
part of it is what's being said is supposedly the CDC already has a, quote, antidote ready, patented, and ready to go.
You know, I've actually heard that before.
Yes.
The CDC is the Center for Disease Control, located right here in good old Atlanta, Georgia, USA.
So, with that being said, it's hard to separate that way of thinking once you've heard that, because, like you said, out of all of the places in the world, these people could have been taken to.
Why didn't they take them to D.C.?
Well, not only
they have lots of very upscale, high-tech, on-the-point places in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital. They could have taken
Washington, but you have New York.
You have
Los Angeles. You have Chicago, parts of Texas.
Why Atlanta?
California, and let's not forget our European brothers and sisters with all of their wonderful hospitals and facilities.
Why Atlanta, Georgia?
Yeah. So that part by itself, whether it's true or not, it really does continue you on that way of thinking. Like, why CDC?
Why Atlanta? Why the CDC? Why Emory University?
Exactly. What's that connection that they're not telling people?
Right.
Now, personally, I obviously, you don't wish that type of illness on anyone. Now, at the same time, I am wondering one or two things. Were these people categorically as ill as they said? And was this so-called fix that genuinely rapid?
Yeah.
I don't believe either one.
You know what's crazy?
Or I should say, I don't believe they go together. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm agreeing with you 150%. And what kind of freaked me out on a certain level, like, oh my God, when they did the press coverage, when they were saying the lady was released, I went, really?
Yes.
Wasn't even 30 days? No. It wasn't. It seems like it was only like, maybe 3 weeks?
Maybe.
And I'm like, what? Cured?
Yeah.
I thought when they brought him here, just assuming, not knowing what's going on, like we don't really know what's going on.
No, we don't.
But I was genuinely shocked. I mean, you saw the footage on TV, on Fox 5 and the local stations when they flew the people in.
Right.
The lady was on the stretcher. The guy, now I think, correct me if I'm wrong, the guy came in, he was really sick, but I think he kind of walked into the facility.
I believe you're right.
You saw all the coverage.
Yes. Yeah, when they put him in the incubation.
And the isolation with the plane. It's amazing to me that someone that has a virus is so contagious. Until there were other countries that refused to even fly into Africa. Okay,
right.
Yet here we are in the good old USA. We're gonna fly the people with the disease into the United States and into Atlanta.
Yes,
with all these people in Atlanta.
Yes, yes.
And but what's crazy to me is the fact that this lady walked out of there 3 weeks later.
And I truly...
Saying she's cured. How do we know this lady's really cured of this stuff?
Well, this is my point. Okay, so let's go with that there. Yeah. She's cured. The gentleman is also
cured. The gentleman is supposedly cured also.
Now, why have we not heard about mass shipments of whatever these antidotes
Why can't they ship whatever they had to Africa?
Right now and in a hurry. Okay?
Right.
There should be no delay.
Something ain't right.
So there is something amiss somewhere. Now, I don't know if this Ebola thing coming here was necessarily a test to see. Well, let's just check out how the general population
makes
is
you
going to
wonder,
act.
doesn't it?
Okay.
Maybe we're paranoid because we live in Metro Atlanta. But I
still thought the very fact that they brought him to the United States
was scary to me.
Was very risky.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You got other people that are banning. You know, we're not even flying over there yet. We're going to go over it and bring somebody into the United States?
Intentionally.
On purpose?
Right.
What?
Yeah.
And we're going to experiment? what? We don't really have a cure, but we're gonna play around and see if it works. What?
No,
and if it was an experiment, why are they even walking around 3 weeks later?
Well, and again, I do not believe that something that is this categorically dangerous is all of a sudden fixed, cured in 2-3 weeks.
Right.
And did they not say that this woman and her husband were going back there?
Yeah.
Was that the latest?
That's what I think.
I couldn't
heard
believe
also.
that part. You're going back.
Going back.
Alrighty. Should she become a success? What? A target, if you will.
I know what you're saying.
Or should she have a relapse or be re-exposed?
That's my concern. What if the virus, because it is a virus, is actually dormant in her body?
Yeah.
Because let's keep it real. I don't know anything in detail about this particular virus, but viruses can...
No. They sent her back because she now has been pumped up with something. So they want to see if she goes back, if her immunity will fend it off once again.
So they're experimenting, playing with us.
That's what I think.
They're playing with
That's
us.
what it just came to me. That's what I think.
And let me guess, she's going to go back to Africa and play, and they're going to come right back to Georgia again, right?
Yeah, so,
I'm not ready to protest over there because this is wrong. And you know what else is interesting? I don't want to get into a ooh kind of thing, conspiracy thing, but don't you think it's kind of odd that as soon as we get Ebola inducted into the good old USA via Georgia and Emory and the CDC, now we've got this mystery virus that's attacking all these children. Have you heard about that? Don't you think it's kind of coincidental?
I do.
And I'm not saying that one thing has to do with the other one, but I find it to be awfully strange.
Well, that in speaking on this whole medical thing, they've been talking about for the longest time how the whistleblower has come out about the shots about the autism, and especially
and immunizations,
in impacting African American children, especially boys.
Yeah.
Now that's another concern,
kind of interesting too.
Which is at the hands of the CDC again. And all these other, regulating bodies, and people aren't talking up and saying anything. So at this point, it makes you wonder if the whole area in the community is nothing but a test lab.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Let's throw that out there and see how they react.
I wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't be the first time an individual group of people have been experimented on, and it probably won't be the last.
Well, that's just bad. Remember when they did the
Tuskegee Institute?
Yes,
that's the first thing that pops in my mind.
That was
the Tuskegee
horrendous.
Institute experiment. It was awful.
But they've done so many more that we find out about years later. That's like, remember...
Let's eject all these people with syphilis and just see what happens.
Yeah. Well, remember... Several years back, they finally came to the conclusion that the guy who came up with the so-called original studies for birth control, it was fake.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
And speaking of birth control, a little bit along the same line, what is this lady's name that actually started Planned Parenthood? Margaret, what's her name?
Sayer,
yeah. Well, initially that started as an experiment also. But if you break it down and really look at the history, Margaret Sayer was a very racist lady. I mean, I know it was a different time and a different era. It was a different vibe then. Race was a whole different ballgame. Which, if you look at everything that's going on in Ferguson, it really ain't changed too much. But that going forward a little bit, Margaret Sayer was a lady that started experiments with Planned Parenthood and birth control. Not to make, birth control readily available to the common woman. The goal was really to try to diminish and I don't want to say control, but it was really about controlling black people.
Right. Well, wasn't she into eugenics and all this other stuff?
Yes,
so with that background and belief system, you're gonna dabble in any and everything that's gonna bring that population count down as much as you can.
Yeah, we're gonna exterminate them.
Yeah,
we're gonna control this one way or the other.
Yeah, and that's the thing. No matter what has happened over the years, they cannot seem to get rid of us. That's the thing. They keep trying. No, think about it. Okay, now
you think they trying to kill all the black folks in Metro?
I'm just gonna play devil's
There
advocate
are a lot of
here.
black folks in Metro Atlanta, y'all. It really is. It
Think
kind of
about
makes
this.
you wonder.
Okay, let's just take a trip down memory lane. Okay, now the
Let's
60s.
play devil's advocate for
Yes.
a moment. Go ahead, Miss
Okay,
Kathy.
starting in the 60s, that's when a lot of black men couldn't find jobs, couldn't keep jobs, even if they found them.
Right.
So that was a problem, destabilizing the family. So up comes, okay, well, we're going to help these folks out. Now, I'm going to give you both sides of that here in a second, okay? So the black mothers, they were forced to go and get on welfare, get food stamps, get benefits. Why? Because their men could not find and keep work.
Right. That was through DFAC. That is, if they were interested in moving into these new, because it was new at the time, that's
The
when,
projects.
public housing started. And it was the end thing to be
Right.
able to get in there.
Right.
So, but in order to get in there, like you
Right.
said, you could not have your significant other, meaning your spouse.
Right.
So, you're right. It
Yeah.
really did destabilize the black family on a whole different ballgame.
Now, remember also now, at that same time, okay? Don't tell me the government isn't behind this.
Of
because
course they
why?
are. Because public
Why?
housing, it was under government. Hello.
Listen, white women from farmers, they could go down there and get money and get help, and they didn't have to get rid of their men. Okay?
I find it kind of interesting, but you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Same period of time, same very closely matching scenario, okay? One is rural, one is urban.
Yeah. And it
okay?
got so deep until they actually had DFAC caseworkers.
Yes.
That would go into the public housing projects and make, it's like you check it up on grown folks.
Oh, yeah,
But that's
you're
what they
making
were doing.
reports.
They had case managers their job was to make sure that the black men were not there. Black men would come back and visit the family, sneak in and out, and their goal was to make sure that they were not in there.
If you have a man here,
It's
we're
the
going to have
problem.
to
We're
cut
gonna
your
have to
benefits.
cut your benefits. Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
So we had that. Now the downside now to me, and I have always had a very personal, delicate issue with that, is that same stream in the 60s. Of course, we had civil rights. We had the Vietnam War.
Yes, we did.
And then the biggest thing that reared its head was feminism.
Right.
Okay? Now,
Right.
I draw the line with that particular thing in particular because the issues that white women were dealing with at that time did not apply to black women in our families.
True.
It
For the
was
most part, true.
No, it was a very
Right.
different, and they tried to disguise it with this equal wage crap. No, our problem is black women. Because we have this newfound independence, we don't need a man. We don't need a husband. We got Uncle Sam. So we're kicking our men out first, not intentionally, but then later it was.
Now, if you think about it, even now in 2014, if you look at the big picture and how many single black women are single, some by choice, some not by choice, the same, I want to say the same attitude is pretty much, but it is. We're so independent. We don't need this man. We don't need us. We don't
think
need
about this, and I saw this.
It's just the same thing, just in a different time with the same undertones behind it. You know what I mean?
I forgot who said this, but I saw this on the video the other day, and the woman's made very good sense. She said, our problem is we want to empathize and take on their language and their problems, which she meant, and more specifically, was that nowadays they call it single parenting.
Right.
When we were coming up, it was out of wedlock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they changed the language, and we buy into the stupidness.
Right.
And our families, let's just tell the truth, most black families have not been the same since.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
I don't
agree.
care what part of the country you go to.
They haven't been, and
We
I
have
think
not been the same
black
since.
people, the whole as a group, has not been the same since.
No.
We're still at each other's throats on some level. We still have the same similar problems that we had before.
Right.
We still can't get along. I
Right.
mean,
I think it exacerbated everything because now all of a sudden women, for the first time, black women, felt as though they had this false sense of power.
right.
And men became worthless. But what I didn't understand, and this is just the ridiculous, critical, goofy person in me. If you have all of this, why do you keep having babies with these so-called men that you keep calling worthless? That's the part I didn't get. Okay, you're independent. You got it going on. You've got this, fantastic, wonderful corporate job. Why you keep sleeping with JoJo at the car wash having all these kids? I'm not getting that part.
Well, apparently they're worth something.
You know what? That's what I'm not getting. JoJo ain't no good, and you telling the kids how bad JoJo is, but God. JoJo's still coming around making booty calls. And here comes JoJo 2, 3, and 4. So I don't get that part.
And it's sad because I'm sitting here laughing, but reality is, it's like, what are we doing to ourselves? Oh my God!
You know what?
We're sending all these crazy messages to the children, which is really messing up the next generation. We need to stop the nonsense. It's getting stupid. We need to stop the nonsense. Come on. Reality is, we need each other.
We do.
Bottom line.
Yes.
Black men, as far as I'm concerned, still need black women. Mm-hmm. Black women, as far as I'm concerned, still need black men.
Oh,
okay?
Yeah.
It's just
absolutely.
that simple.
And that going in and out of your race thing, that's fine and good. You love who you love.
Right.
I don't have a problem with that.
Neither do I.
But at the end of the day, what's important to me, that other person that's not your skin color, do they really understand you and your heritage?
Right. They may love you, but I'm with you. I don't know how you could ever really understand a black woman or a black man. But then again, if you're in love and you're happy, maybe they don't care whether somebody really understands them. You know what I mean?
That may be true. If you're
it just depends on the individual person.
If you're at a certain economic level, those questions may never come up.
They may just understand, like you say, money.
Yeah.
The green color's the only one that matters, I suppose. It may not even be an issue for some people. Let's keep it real. Yeah. There are a lot of black people, just like there are other people from other cultures, that don't really get that deep with their heritage. There are a lot of black people that don't care about their heritage,
which I think is shameful.
There's a lot of black people that don't really care about their culture. There's a lot of black people that don't care about the struggles and everything that people have given and the strides that there's a lot of people that just don't care, period. Let's just keep it real.
I tell you the one thing that really
about anything other than me.
When I see our young black men specifically, okay, I'm going to pick on them for a second. When I see young black men with these pants beneath the butt, okay, this is the way you present yourself every day. I really, and I would never do this because I know the consequences, but
when is this phase going to end?
I want to
run sick of this
and kick them in the butt till they fall on their face.
I'm so tired of looking at other people's underwear.
I really do. Because when I think about, and we don't even have to go that far. We don't even have to go back to Martin, Malcolm, and all of that.
Aren't you used to looking at other people's underwear? That's all I'm saying. Have you ever been in a line checking out in the grocery store or something, and some guy's been in front of you, and you looking at his whole freaking behind? Yeah. The whole upper top of his freaking underwear.
What are you talking about?
Are you not tired of looking at this? I'm sick of it.
I told you the other day. Well, no, earlier today I got into this la la land of YouTube. What did I click on by accident? These young black boys, they were twerking worse than women.
You mean black guys are twerking now?
Yes.
Get out of here.
These kids, these were teenagers. They were probably between 15 and 18.
The men are twerking now.
Yes. Worse, well, I should say, let me get it right, better than the women. Yes. There was 3 of them.
I don't want to see that.
Yes.
Bad enough. Oh my
horrible.
God. I can't imagine.
And this was
I'm really trying to imagine that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just too much.
I don't, but...
That's too much.
Okay, let's break it back down. When you don't have any genuine male role models,
true.
Stupid things are bound to happen.
That's true. Because I don't care what anybody says. This is just my personal opinion. You can be the best mother under the sun. You can be the best woman on planet Earth. But when it comes to raising children, you can be the best teacher. You can expose your children to everything productive, everything wonderful. Put them in private school. There's so many things as a woman, especially a woman who has financial power and has the ability to provide for her children on a whole different level.
Right.
But I don't care what anybody says. There's one thing you cannot do. You can never teach a male child how to be a man.
That's right.
I'm sorry. You can't do it.
And
I don't care how much you try. You cannot do it.
I agree. We cannot also, like we talked about before, as women, we can't buy, or I should say give, that safety and protection
that a man can.
That a man can.
I agree.
I don't care what you say.
I don't care how much you make it. I don't care where you live in, how good you live in.
Exactly.
It's a whole different element when that protective thing is coming from a father. I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
And
we're two different species for a reason.
Not taking anything from the single mothers
I'm not
that
either.
do a fantastic
exactly.
job.
Like
not
I said, you can be the best mother you can be.
Yes.
No, I'm not taking anything from anybody who's handling their business, raising their children, doing their darnest, and doing it good.
Right.
Doing it well. But you still cannot provide something that a father can provide. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I don't see why we haven't got that yet. And like I said, now it's just so commonplace. You know, people. You know, people, they don't even have the. You know, when we were coming up, oh my God, if somebody was pregnant, they weren't a quote. We started loosening up. At least they were a couple.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. You all may not be married. You may not be engaged, but at least you're a real couple.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And then we got to the point where it was what I was calling those drive-bys.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I really don't know him. What? Excuse me?
You don't know him, but you had sex with him. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you got a kid with somebody you don't even know.
Oh, did you see? It was some goofy show the other day. One of these judge shows. This young girl is about 20. She was on TV because why? Because basically she had sex with about 3 different men at her girlfriend's house.
Was this the Maury show? Who the baby daddy thing?
I don't know which one it was.
Just asking.
I was
sounds
doing,
like a Maury thing.
I was doing a run through, and the poor mother. She's like, I just
look. Apparently, she was doing a run through too. I'm sorry, I just had to go there.
Yes, and the woman.
I shouldn't have said that.
The woman was sitting there as if, you know, she was, I guess, ashamed that her mother was so hurt. But really, she wanted to go through, well, you know, I've always had really low self-esteem. And I really, whoever this woman friend was, they weren't lovers, they were friends. But she valued this woman's perception and opinion of her.
Yeah.
So if this woman thought it was okay, you know, when she would come over and these men were there, well, yeah, you should have sex with him. Or, yeah, that is a good thing. Well, now she's there. And
excuse me, run that by me
particular
again. The mother would come home and see.
No, this is her friend.
Oh, her friend.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
I got you.
Yeah, the mother, the young lady's mother, I felt my heart was breaking for her because she is just so concerned. She's like, I just want to know who my granddaughter's real father is.
Wow.
And it's like, oh my God. You know, and her anger was misplaced because she was getting angry at the young woman where they were at her home where the sex was occurring. How could you let that? Oh, and like she told her, which was the truthful answer.
Yeah.
She said, your daughter is grown. She wanted to engage in these things. I didn't encourage her and I didn't stop her.
Right.
That's the truth. But again, come on, think about that. Just a few years ago,
you're thinking a whole bunch about
that wouldn't even have happened. Or put it this way, if it did happen, you would have made up some lie. Oh, who's my daddy? Oh, your daddy died. I'm so sorry. That would have never left somebody's lips.
Yeah. And you sure wouldn't be on a TV show exposing it to the world.
No.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
No,
it would not happen.
No, your daddy passed away. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. He was in a bad car accident. Something.
That's why it's fascinating to me when you flip, like you ever just flip through, like you say, you're scanning through the channels and flip through the Maury show. It is still the most amazing thing to me to see these women come on national TV trying to find the kid's father. Right. That's how they put it. The baby daddy, whatever. Well, I'm back, Maury, for what, the 10th time. I said, no, please tell me this is a joke.
I know, right?
I mean, you're dragging all these men up on the work. Why?
And each one
we go through 30 men trying to find
each one. You see that? He looks just like him.
And do you see what happens when you are not the father? How they stand up and just scrutinize the woman. And you talk about self-esteem problem.
Oh yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
She runs off the stage.
Oh, she always does.
Hollering and screaming and crying. And what does the guy do? Stand up and call her everything but a child of God.
But this is what I don't get, and I've said this from the beginning. Okay, unless biology has changed drastically.
How is this benefiting your child? I mean,
no.
See the mom sitting up on the show going through all these guys trying to figure out, like you said, in a weird way, it might be better. Baby, your daddy died a long time ago.
Yeah.
Up on TV
make
looking
up
crazy with all this nonsense.
But this is what I don't get. Now, as a female, like I said, correct me if I'm wrong, because biology may be different, but I was taught that you only have a very brief window of time any month where you're probably going to get pregnant.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's more probably. Yeah.
Right.
These 2 weeks, no go.
Yeah.
And then you get this other week and a half where there's
a
probability.
little window of opportunity there.
Okay? Now, we'll just bump it out to 2 weeks. Okay? You've got a 2-week open window of time.
Look, Chatty Cathy, don't be saying it because somebody listening going, well, she said it's only 2 weeks out the month for her to get pregnant. Don't be saying that.
Oh, but that's the reality. That's
I mean, but some people take that and stretch it into something totally different. They'll be walking around all stupid. I don't need no birth control because it's only 2 weeks out the month. Don't say that.
Don't
I'm
be
telling
silly.
you. Like you said, biological people are different now.
Okay.
People think very differently now. They just do.
Go check with your
But I get
sure.
Okay,
how about we do that? How about we do that? Check with your GYN.
If somebody be emailing me with Miss Chatty Cathy said I'm going to get pregnant 2 weeks out the
Chatty
year.
Cathy said check with your GYN.
So I'm going to have this baby and I'm going to drop it off at Chatty Cathy's front door.
But check this out. Now,
let me stop acting silly. Go ahead. But you're right.
2 weeks. So in a 2-week time frame, now that's just, okay, I'm going to just say it the way I call it. That's just nasty. How many men have you been with in 2 weeks that you can't figure out who the father is? That many? It's only 14 days.
I promise you, there is no way under the sun that will put my crazy... If I was that crazy, there is no way. You couldn't pay me enough to go on national TV and let everybody know how big a fool I was. It just wouldn't happen. I'm sorry.
So that either leads me to think one or two things. Either the people, the participants on the show, it's all made up, well, at least some of them, or
maybe exaggerated just a little bit much for ratings or the shock effect. I'm guessing too. I'm not sure.
Or these women are quite that, doggone frisky. We put it that way.
Well, it's different species on the planet. Let's keep it real.
Okay.
Everybody's different.
I just don't
get it.
You got
some people that get it, some people that don't care to get it, some people that got it a long time ago, and some people that never will get it.
And what happened to requiring men to have protection? Okay?
Condom sales must be down. That's all I can figure.
That's all
because everybody in the mall walk around pregnant now. I don't know.
Now, as a female,
I don't know.
That hurts me.
I don't know.
Because do you know how many women prior to the 60s, especially when birth control first came out, do you know how many women have, let's just be honest, some have died having horrible abortions, and other complications with childbirth.
Right.
And we finally have not only one method,
prior
but
to the 60s,
methods.
Prior to the 40s, the major cause of death for women was dying during childbirth.
Exactly.
And that's a fact.
Yes. So now we have all of these opportunities to prevent.
And there's so many more
pregnancy.
different methods of birth control available right now. It's fascinating to me.
Oh, what did my one friend say? Because she's like, girl, it's like going through the drive-thru at McDonald's.
You can go get a shot and you're good to go for 6 months. Or they got things now where you can even control your period. Why are we talking about this?
I know.
You don't even have to have a cycle every month anymore.
No, what is it? That thing that's every 4 months or something?
But why?
Yes.
Why did they have this when I was, okay. What? That ain't right. They need to suffer like the rest of us did.
I know it being evil and eating chocolate. Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Yeah, but we're saying the same thing. There are so many more things so many more options that they have available right now.
Exactly.
That weren't even available even a decade or two ago.
Yes. So the fact that all of these, that which goes back to what I said.
They have more choices, a lot more choices.
There is a psychological need, dysfunction, lack of self-esteem, whatever label you want to put on it.
Yeah.
I understand accidents. We all have those oopsies.
Yeah.
I got
and then
that.
too, I kind of go back to sometime again. If you don't have a male role model, I'm just playing devil's advocate again.
Right.
If you don't have a male role model of any kind in your life, I think maybe I'm crazy, but sometimes, and you don't have anyone to kind of teach you or show you the way, for lack of a better word. Sometimes young women go through adolescence and they seek male attention, but they just seek it in the wrong way.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Classic.
Via the wrong method. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, and they've discovered this forever ago. Women, especially in that age category, they're looking.
You're looking for somebody
love.
to love you. That's what I'm trying to say.
Looking for
because of the love that you did not get from a male role model in your life.
And let's be honest, some young girls, because they've been around their mamas who probably talk too much, their aunties or cousins and big sisters, so they think they're gonna quote get in the game. Oh, they're not gonna use me, I'm gonna use them, and all this other little convoluted thinking.
Life is a game, but you can get burned.
And it's like, well, I thought you was using everybody. How come you got 3 babies with 3 daddies?
Who got used?
Yeah. So it's like, and that's why.
Now this is not a game, darling. This is real life.
Well, not only real life, but someone else's life that you're tampering with.
This is real life.
I don't care what you do with you. If you want to be an idiot and have unprotected sex,
but don't
that's
be
your
an
business.
idiot and bring an innocent child into it. I get you. You're right.
Listen,
they didn't ask for this. They don't deserve this.
No. And everybody's and this is, and don't get me wrong, because I love children, period. Mine, other people's, whoever, love children.
Right.
So it's not a hate against children, but my thing is, everybody is not equipped to be a parent.
Right.
That's why that really bothers me.
Right.
Just because you produced a child,
just like every man is not. I mean, you may be equipped physically to be a parent, but it takes a lot more to be a father, and it takes a lot more to be a mother, other than just being able to physically produce, other than biology.
Yes, exactly. And we don't get that. So
I don't know why it's so hard to get.
Well,
but you're right. A lot of people don't seem to get it
because nobody wants to have anybody else tell them what to do.
Right.
It's my life, my kids. You can't tell me what to do.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, well, you keep playing with JoJo at the car wash, and we'll see how many more little rugrats you come up with. Because JoJo ain't trying to hear that.
JoJo gone by his business.
What? Oh, remember.
He probably being fruitful and multiplying with somebody else as they sitting there.
Oh, now, okay.
I'm not trying to be funny. No. We all know JoJo's like that.
How about this show's getting ready to come on part 2 with Iyanla, with this guy with these 34 children?
Stop.
Yes.
Stop it.
Yes.
How many children?
34 children. And supposedly he has others. What
does he? Can he even list them all? Can he even? I can't even talk. 34. Girl,
you
stop.
haven't seen that? No. Yes, 34. Part 2.
Can he even? Can he? I'm so shocked I can't talk right now. My mouth is open. 34. Can he even list them all by name? 34.
I believe so.
That's enough to start your own little private school, isn't it?
34.
That's a classroom full of kids.
And the man is only, I believe.
Wait a minute. Does he support these 34 children?
Now that's an altogether different question entirely.
But he claims them all, apparently.
Oh yes. No, not only does he claim those 34, he's been in relationships with other women. So he has, quote, whether legally or not, he claims 9 more on top of that. So that's 43 children.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yes.
Stop it. No way.
One man.
Oh, I'm going to have to see this show.
Yeah.
I have to see this to believe it. Yeah. I'm seldom at a loss for words, but I'm at a loss for words.
Yes.
34 children.
34.
And possibly 9 more. Oh, my God.
Yeah. These 9 are not biological kids.
When is he going to get fixed? Okay, that's all I
Well,
he needs to be fixed. Taken out, being beaten first, and then he's going to
Well, this is the thing.
Fix him and put him out of his misery. Because he has lost his doggone mind.
Yeah, I agree. But now, supposedly, according to some of the preview snippets, I guess, and maybe I'm interpreting it wrong, but it appears as though some of these women, they were actually friends. And he slept and impregnated this one, and this one, and they were friends together. Yes.
I wish I could close my mouth right now. I'm sitting there looking at Chad and Catherine like,
Are you believing that? Yes.
Apparently not, because
I know you are stunned. You are stunned. Yes.
I'm still stuck on 30. I have a visual in my mind right now. Mm-hmm. See, I'm thinking wrong. I'm just imagining getting up in the morning and trying to get 34 children out the house. But these are different women.
You know
I
what
get it. These are different women.
No.
But it's just the idea mentally knowing that you are responsible for 34 children
on the first
on the planet Earth and a possible 9 more. That would drive me insane.
Iyanla, on the very first segment, she had him come on this. They were sitting out on this porch
where
talking.
Is this guy? Like,
he's here in Atlanta.
Oh my God.
He's some kind of. Is it a video producer?
Why am I not surprised? He's a producer.
Videographer.
Everybody in Metro Atlanta's a producer.
Something like that. But apparently he's pretty successful at whatever
he
is
a producer, but what's he producing?
Well, this is what was funny. She had him.
He not producing video. He producing children. That's his job. He's a
and
producer.
She had 34 baby dolls representing his children, and she was like, "Here, put your arms out." So she started loading the dolls up. Guess what? He couldn't even hold them all. Then during the call,
I wish I could stop saying that you would close my mouth. I'm just
he wants to put them down, and she was like, "No, keep them. They're your babies."
I'm
like,
literally
I can't hold all this.
Literally stunned.
Yes.
Does he know? Has he ever heard of vasectomy? I'm just curious.
I think somebody brought that
in getting
up,
fixed?
and I think he rejected the idea. But now, of course,
mentally, is he all there?
Now, of course, the children are not happy. The 34 children.
There's no way.
The mothers were on there from the snippets crying and belly aching, and don't get me wrong, they have every reason to be upset. And of course, he is. You know what I like about what Iyanla has done. What I saw in the first episode is she brought in his parents. Mother, father.
Okay, so his parents are alive. What do they have to say about this?
They haven't really spoken directly to any extent about the quantity of children.
Maybe they're in shock too, like I am. Maybe they're still sitting there.
But they had a crazy, pretty tumultuous relationship as well.
Wow.
But at the same time, the ones that are really. The children are innocent. I have nothing to say about the children.
I couldn't take care of 34 goldfish. More or less 34 children. 34 kittens and puppies I couldn't do. 34 children?
Exactly. The women who are knowing of his history, those are the ones I'm finding it very hard to have too much sympathy for.
Honey, when he shows up in town, people need to leave the premises.
Oh, because check this out.
I don't even want to breathe the same air he's breathing, because this man is fruitful on a whole different level.
This is crazy. We're going to say, I think it's 34 children. There are only 16 or 17 mothers. So that means he has multiple children
with these women.
And
they're aware of each other.
Okay.
Wow.
Now that I have a problem with. Not to say that
I'm really trying to stop staring at this shit.
I know. You just keep the 34 is just blowing you away. Yeah. Oh, but I have an issue with these women.
Oh my God.
It's like, okay, now by the time you all
technically it's really 43.
Right.
If we
no, they do not belong to him, but because of past relationships, he somewhat claims these other children as being a part of his life. Okay. Wow. So we'll go up to 43. So we'll go to 43, but there's still 17 different women that have birthed your children.
Do you even... I just wish I could close my mouth. I'm sorry. How do you even interact, communicate, coexist, get along with 17 different baby mamas? Because that's what it is. Can you imagine?
No.
Talk about some chaos. Oh my God.
So
can you imagine if they all took in the child support enforcement? Does this guy work? Let me guess. I bet he doesn't work. Does he work? Well, you said he's a videographer. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He did.
No, supposedly he has a pretty successful business. So I'm sure he's helping as much as he can.
Oh my God.
But at the same time, none of these children will ever benefit from that father-parent relationship.
How can they? It's
father-child.
So many of them.
Yeah, that they
they're in different households. I mean,
right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and some of the older ones, the way the little snippets were going, are not too fond of even wanting to have much to do with them. What did this one girl say? She just kept repeating, "Well, I just think he's a sperm donor."
I was gonna say because it's almost like it's almost like he's just a sperm donor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Now I will say this from the panel of kids that they showed on some commercial or preview or whatever.
I have to see this version.
They look alike, even
life.
with all of these freaking different mothers.
Really?
They do favor. So I'm like, wow, the gene pool.
He got a strong genetic.
Have mercy.
Like I said, when this brother rolls through town, everybody needs to leave the premises.
You know what?
Don't drink the water, don't breathe the air.
I'm going to be on vacation.
I'll leave with a quickness.
I'm on vacation.
Woo, okay, let me stop. It's stupid.
No.
I'm just stuck on 34. I'm sorry. Oh my
I
God.
could not believe that. And you would think,
wow.
You know, because this,
you would think vasectomy would be his middle name.
Well,
somebody out of the goodness of their heart should just go ahead and fix him and not charge him a dime. They'd be doing the planet a favor. That is ridiculous.
When I first heard of when they were first advertising it about the 34 children, I wasn't really keying in on it. And my mind went to a multiple polygamy family thing. That's what my mind first went to.
Well, you know, I'm kind of absorbing the 34. What does he think Iyanla Vanzant can really do? How can you fix his life when he's got that many? I mean, anything is fixable, but my God, what is he trying to accomplish by going on the show? What does he?
I don't know.
I'm just really at a loss of words. I'm still stuck on 34. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Just kind of.
Like I said, when I very first heard it, the first little blah, 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 Iyanla with this man with 34 children, I really didn't key in any further. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, this must be one of those, you know, polygamous
kind of thing,
you know, lifestyles or something, you know, is what I initially thought. Well, then the ads kept running, and I was like, oh my God, this is a single man with 34, you know, one individual man with 34 children himself. With
and
all these
17 different women.
Yeah. They're not cohabitating. This isn't a community. You know, they're not common law anything, so to speak. And that's when it got my attention. I was like, oh my God. So basically...
See, you had time to absorb and kind of sit there and shop with your mouth open. Kind of like I'm looking at you now. I'm still mentally stuck on
what
34.
Is they were sitting on
34
this
children.
Porch,
wow.
And she walks him around this corner. And he had so many representative baby dolls of his children. They didn't all fit on the couch.
So we could really feel the impact of being responsible for 34 people being on the planet. That
he was trying to hold them, and he was like, well, I got to put this down. And he wasn't even holding all 34, okay?
How could he?
Exactly. So that's what she was asking.
So are the mothers going to be on the show too? Oh, my God.
Yes.
I'm going to have to see that.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. But again, I go back to, what were you thinking? That you were comfortable enough that it was all right for you to have a child with this man with this already established reputation. That's what I want to find out.
Here comes the sperm, don't I? say leave town, time to go, don't drink the water, don't
I'm
breathe
trying
air.
to figure out what made you think. And again, like I always say,
it's something mentally. I'm not trying to be funny here. It's something mentally kind of. Is he there? You know what I mean?
No, he is very much there. Yeah, he's not. You know, some type of.
He just doesn't believe in birth control.
No, apparently not. Apparently not.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to try to catch that episode.
That's
something I'm gonna have to see.
Women, you know, listen. I'm gonna tell you like this: if I like this guy that much and knew this history about him, oh honey, let me promise you, we would be double duty.
There ain't enough birth control under the sun for me. I'm sorry, this dude got how many?
Yeah, we would have to be double duty, triple duty, some kind of way, because it's like I'm not going to add to the mess. Okay?
And the mess is what it is. I'm going to have to see that episode. That's amazing to me. 34 children in this day and age. 34.
Well,
plus another 9.
What's amazing to me is not only in this day and age, but it's just the fact that it's a single man with single
17
relationships. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't a harem situation. It wasn't polygamy.
Yeah.
Oh, heck, let's just be vulgar. It wasn't even a pimp and prostitutes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got
you know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to close my mouth still. I'm sorry.
None of
I'm sitting there kind of in a stud, like a deer caught in the headlight kind of thing. Like,
none of the normal channels.
I have so many questions. I'm sitting here absorbing all this.
None of the normal channels are
34
in place.
Children, 17 different women. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess Iyanla Vanzant's new season's going to come off with a real kicker. I'm gonna have to try to see
I wish
that.
her well, because like I said, that is going to be a handful to try to, because in fact, just
how is she going to try to fix that? I mean, I like Miss Van Zant. I like what she does.
I do too.
And I agree with what she's saying. And I'm not saying that she can't help this guy, but I don't know what it is that she's trying to get. And what can you do?
I don't know.
The man's got 34 children.
I don't know.
What are you going to what are you going to do to make his light bulb go off? And what's going to be different? It's going to be interesting to see.
I think
what she tells him, you know,
based on what they were initially doing with his father and mother on the first episode, it sounds as though they're fighting. Because at first the father was lying. Oh, I don't recall hitting her. I don't recall hitting her. Blah, blah, blah.
And you know they got DNA now.
Okay. And the mother is sitting there going, yes, you did. So finally, and that's the part I think is going to be integral for him moving forward, because the father finally admitted the next day to the son, yes, I did strike your mother.
Wow.
Well, as a kid, and even when the show first started, he was very upset because he's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to tear down my father. I don't want to tear down my mother, but mainly his father. He holds his father in high esteem. Okay. His father's some kind of Harvard professional or whatever.
Really?
You know, yeah.
Okay.
And he really, but it was like Iyanla said, he said, you know what? We really got to go there to get to the root of all of this.
Yeah.
You know, we really do. And I can kind of understand that.
Yeah.
So, I
that's why I'm sitting there with a mouth open, kind of stunned. I'm trying to think, okay, 1, 2, 3, okay, maybe 4, 5, 6, you know, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Girl, that's why I'm asking, is something wrong with him? Is he out there? I mean, God.
And that is what leads me to, okay, no one took advantage of him, so to speak, right? Because he is all there. He's knowing about all these births. But I still have to go back to the women. What were you thinking?
Yeah, because like you said, they're aware of each other. You said some of them are friends.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
They are on there from the little preview. How could you sleep with my best friend and this, that, and
sound like some Jerry Springer stuff, doesn't it?
And I'm just sitting there, but like I said, folks know each other. I bet you every last one of those.
You said they're from Atlanta, but are they originally from Atlanta, Metro Atlanta?
I don't know.
We probably won't know until the show airs.
Yeah,
so. I just have so many questions. I'm just sitting back absorbing.
I
know. To make logic out of something that sounds totally illogical to me.
Right.
Wow.
Right. But poor guy. I hope he gets some kind of help. Now, like you said, what all can she do to help him? These women, these children. It's going to be hard to tell, but he for sure needs to just realize, oh my God, this is what I've created.
Feel the impact of what he's done.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, sit in that. Because how you gonna, I mean, come on. We come from our respective families. How can you expect to know 34 brothers and sisters?
I'm still shaking my head. I'm 34. I'm mentally still, God, 34.
I'm just trying to.
Plus the other 9. Let's not forget it.
Yes.
That's unbelievable.
That's the part that cracks me up. He's claiming these other unofficial 9, so to speak. And I'm just looking at this guy going, you know, that is what I really wanted to say through the television. Was,
I hope Iyanla Vanzant convinces him to go somewhere and get fixed. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Some doctors should be standing outside when the show is done with the taping. Out there with some scissors and some tape. Come on, buddy. Wait on you.
And if you
Let's do the
won't,
planet a favor because you need to be fixed.
and if you won't go, knock them out and take them
Take
anyway.
them on in there. Okay. Miss Chatty Cathy, enough violence for one day.
Isn't that horrible?
No, not this case.
Oh, we
This
started
man
off
needs
on
to be.
violence
This man
and
needs to be
ended that way.
fixed.
Yeah.
Well, you know, America's founded on violence. Let's keep it real.
Oh,
don't
yes,
make
we
it
are.
right, but yeah, we're in a violent society. It doesn't make it right, but unfortunately, it's part of our life. But
Yes.
anyway, we're gonna wrap it up for today.
Yes,
we're gonna
we
come
are.
back next week with some more interesting topics.
Yes.
I
Absolutely.
appreciate Chatty Cathy. This was fun.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
I appreciate
I didn't
it.
realize we were going to go so many ways, so many different ways. I think we went sideways, but
But
we
that
were
was
kinda
okay.
vague, but
That was okay.
that was
I
good.
enjoyed it. And it kind of all connected, and I appreciate you being here. You're gonna come back next week, right?
Absolutely.
All right,
We're
now.
going to do it.
All right. So meanwhile, you guys stay out of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be violent.
No, please don't. Please don't.
Use your birth control.
Yes. Double up if you must. Okay? Double up.
And we will check with you later. And Kathy, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Miss Kay.
And meanwhile, you guys, we'll chat with you later. Peace and grace.
Have a good one.
Okay, bye-bye.
103.1 FM WEOM.